Ever notice how sometimes the biggest stories get the least coverage? Something transformative happens that changes everything and nobody notices? Well, it's happened here. For the last 2 years or so, the rest of us have watched as the Democratic Party has been utterly transformed into something totally different. What was once the stodgy headquarters of the center-left establishment, the party of Harry Reid and Steny Hoyer and guys like that, now looks like a scene out of Burning Man, so far without the nudity. Starting on Inauguration Day, Democrats erupted in a primal scream, and they have not yet stopped yelling. Everything changed once Trump got elected. Celebrities threatened to abandon this country. Business leaders started behaving like political activists. Candidates for office embraced positions so extreme that they'd rejected them just months before. News reporters became rigid propagandists. And then, weirdest of all, comedians lost their sense of humor. Here, for example, is deeply unfunny comedian Samantha Bee lecturing America about Ivanka Trump last night. Watch.
You know, Ivanka, that's a beautiful photo of you and your child, but let me just say, one mother to another, do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless He listens to you. Put on something tight and low-cut and tell your father to stop it.
A dumb person's political harangue masquerading as comedy. Well, profoundly sad filmmaker Michael Moore proclaimed all what you just saw, quote, brilliant. He called Samantha Bee a truth teller. Comedian Billy Eichner wrote on Twitter he thought Bee was being, quote, generous. Tonight, Bee is receiving an award from the Television Academy for, quote, leveraging the dynamic power of television to inspire social change. Well, Samantha Bee later apologized for that on Twitter, assuming a tweet rates as an apology. But doubtless that's just temporary. She'll likely be bragging about all of this at another award ceremony very soon. Meanwhile, Kathy Griffin, who is probably the single unhappiest person in this country, used her appearance on a daytime show called The View to launch another political lecture. When White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders responded to that, Griffin wrote a profane tweet attacking Sarah Sanders. Blah, 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 blah. F you, basically. Where did Kathy Griffin learn to talk like that? Well, maybe from U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand of New York, who is now regularly using the F word in her public appearances. Here's one.
So what about President Trump? Has he kept any of these promises? No. No. Fundamentally, if we are not helping people, we should go the home.
Now, she's not the quickest of the U.S. senators, but even so, it says something broader about what's happening in the Democratic Party. So the left is arguing that Trump is radical. How have they responded? By becoming way more radical, by going completely off the edge. They say Trump is vulgar. Okay. So now they shout profanity on television and at campaign events. Amazingly, Trump has somehow convinced the Democratic Party to completely destroy itself. No one ever says that, but it may be the biggest change he has brought to this country. It's fascinating.